Get back to economy where you belong. Clara Bennett's voice sliced through the bustling Chicago airport gate, her eyes blazing at the man in scuffed sneakers clutching a crumpled first-class ticket. Nathan Caldwell, the undercover CEO of Horizon Airways, met her glare with unnerving calm, his worn jacket hiding a secret that could unravel her world. The crowd froze, sensing a showdown, as Clara's scanner beeped green, her face flushing with shock. This was no ordinary passenger, and this flight to Geneva would change everything. Nathan's lips twitched, but he kept his composure. "I believe this is the right line," he said, holding out the battered ticket. Clara's brow furrowed, her instincts screaming he didn't belong among the polished elite of first class. She'd seen too many chancers sneak into premium cabins, and this man, with his faded jeans and weary carry-on, looked like he'd stumbled off a budget bus. Whispers rippled through the queue, passengers craning to watch. Nathan's voice stayed steady. "Please, check the ticket." Clara snatched it, her scanner flashing green, confirming his place. Her cheeks burned, but she stepped aside, muttering, "Enjoy your flight." The crowd exhaled, the tension lingering like static. Nathan eased into his plush first-class seat, his eyes scanning the cabin. He'd built Horizon Airways on fairness, but whispers of uneven service had reached his desk, reports of bias, subtle slights, and a culture that sometimes favored appearances over equality. Today, he was no CEO in a tailored suit, but an unassuming traveler, here to see the truth firsthand. Clara's snap judgment was exactly the kind of clue he needed. He adjusted his worn jacket, noting her forced smile as she greeted a suited businessman boarding behind him, her warmth reserved for those who fit her image of first class. In the cockpit, Captain Liam Carter adjusted his headset, his palms sweaty despite the cool air. This was his first transatlantic flight as captain, a milestone that should have thrilled him. Instead, doubt gnawed at his gut. Had he earned this seat, or was his promotion a fluke? He glanced at his co-pilot, Sarah, her seasoned eyes tracking the pre-flight checklist. She hadn't said a word about his inexperience, but Liam felt her scrutiny like a spot. He ran through the controls again, his voice steady as he radioed the tower, but inside his heart raced. One misstep and he'd prove the doubters right, those who whispered he was too young, too untested. Sarah's calm nod gave him a flicker of reassurance, but the weight of the flight pressed harder. He had to nail this. Across the aisle from Nathan, Sofia Alvarez fidgeted in her first-class seat, her hoodie and sneakers stark against the leather upholstery. She'd used her father's miles for this ticket, a rare splurge for a graphic designer scraping by on freelance gigs. Now, heading to a life-changing job interview in Geneva, she felt like an imposter. Clara's cold nod as she boarded had stung, a silent judgment that Sofia didn't belong. She tucked her hands into her sleeves, glancing at the other passengers. Sleek suits, designer bags, effortless confidence. Her stomach churned. What if she bombed the interview? What if she didn't fit in there either? Nathan caught her nervous glance, his calm demeanor a quiet anchor. Clara passed by, her eyes skimming Sofia with disinterest before lighting up for a silver-haired executive. Sofia sank lower, the gap between her and the elite feeling wider than the... Clara's polished shoes clicked as she moved to the gate's edge, her mind elsewhere. Her phone buzzed in her pocket and she stole a glance. A text from her sister Lena pleading for another loan to cover rent. Clara's jaw tightened. She was the family's anchor, the first to claw her way to a stable job, but the weight of their demands was suffocating. Her parents' faint accents, carried from their immigrant roots, echoed in her own voice, a target for passenger jabs that cut deeper than she admitted. Just last week, a traveler had smirked. "Your English is good, for where you're from." She'd smiled through it, but the sting lingered. Now Lena's text fueled her irritability. She typed a curt reply, "I can't keep doing this," and shoved the phone away. The gate monitors flickered, signaling boarding's end, and Clara straightened, her resentment simmering. No passenger would walk over her today. Not even that scruffy first-class pretender. Nathan settled deeper into his seat, his carry-on stowed overhead. Clara's preferential treatment of the businessman hadn't escaped him. She had offered him a warm greeting, a personal nod, while Nathan got a grudging pass. He pulled out a small notebook, disguised as a travel journal, and jotted a mental note, selective courtesy based on appearance. His mission was clear: uncover the biases shaping Horizon's culture. the subtle disparities that reports couldn't capture. He'd read countless surveys on inclusive service, but nothing beat seeing it unfold. Clara's sharp tone, her quick dismissal of him, confirmed the cracks in his airline's ethos. He glanced at Sophia, her unease mirroring his own sense of being misjudged. The cabin hummed as passengers filed in, and Nathan's gaze followed Clara, now checking boarding passes with mechanical efficiency. She paused at a well-dressed woman, her smile genuine, then flicked her eyes to a young man in a tracksuit, her expression cooling. Nathan's pen scratched another note. Bias not isolated, systemic. He leaned back, the flight's fume vibrating through him, knowing this journey would reveal more than he'd bargained for. The gate closed, and Clara's voice crackled over the intercom, directing passengers to their seats. Nathan watched her stride through the cabin, her posture rigid, her authority unchallenged. She didn't know he held the power to reshape her career, but he wasn't here to wield it, not yet. He wanted truth, not theatrics. Sophia shifted, her earbuds dangling, and Nathan offered a small smile, sensing her need for reassurance. Liam's voice followed, steady but tight, announcing final preparations. In the cockpit, Sarah's quiet efficiency steadied Liam, but his pulse quickened as the plane taxied. Clara's earlier confrontation replayed in Nathan's mind, a spark of conflict that promised more. He closed his notebook, the weight of his mission settling in. This flight wasn't just a test of his employees, it was a mirror for his airline's soul. The engines of Horizon Airways Flight 247 roared, lifting the plane into the Chicago sky, a faint tremor vibrating through the first-class cabin. Nathan Caldwell, the Undercover CEO, adjusted his worn jacket, his eyes tracking Clara Bennett as she moved with practiced efficiency. Her earlier snap at him still echoed, a sharp reminder of the biases he'd come to uncover. The cabin lights glowed softly, but tension hung heavy, like a storm brewing beneath the surface. Nathan's gaze drifted to Sofia Alvarez across the aisle, her hands fidgeting in her hoodie. He sensed her unease, a mirror of his own quiet resolve to peel back the layers of his airline's culture. As the plane climbed, Captain Liam Carter's voice crackled over the intercom, steady but tight. "Folks, we're expecting minor turbulence soon. Please keep your seatbelts fastened." Sophia's eyes widened, her fingers gripping the armrest. Nathan leaned over, his voice low and calm. "Just a few bumps. You'll be fine." She forced a shaky smile, her panic easing slightly. The cabin buzzed with murmurs, passengers glancing out at the darkening clouds. Nathan's reassurance felt like a lifeline to Sophia, a small spark of connection in the sterile first-class bubble. Clara, securing a cart, shot them a glance, her suspicions sharpening. Clara began distributing hot towels, her movements crisp but uneven. She handed Nathan a limp, lukewarm cloth, barely meeting his eyes, then offered steaming fresh ones to a suited businessman with a warm smile. "Here you go, sir," she said, her voice honeyed. The contrast stung, and Sophia noticed, her brow furrowing. Nathan accepted the damp towel without comment, jotting a note in his disguised journal. Selective service, appearance-based. Clara's smile vanished as she moved to another suited passenger, her warmth reserved for those who fit her mold. Sophia tucked her earbuds away, her discomfort growing. Nathan caught her eye, offering a subtle nod, as if to say, "I see it too." The unfairness hung between them, unspoken but heavy. In economy, a child's wail pierced the cabin, sharp and relentless. Clara's jaw tightened as she passed the curtain separating first class from the main cabin. "Can't they control that?" she muttered under her breath, her voice dripping with disdain. Nathan overheard, his pen pausing. Emily Ward, the kind-hearted co-attendant, slipped past Clara, her face soft with concern. She knelt by a frazzled mother whose toddler clutched a worn blanket. "Can I get you a pillow or some juice?" Emily asked, her voice gentle. The mother's eyes glistened with gratitude, the child's cries softening. Emily's warmth was a stark contrast to Clara's cold dismissal, and Nathan noted it. Emily, genuine care for all. Clara strode by, her eyes skimming the economy seats with mild contempt, as if they were beneath her. Nathan's heart sank, the divide in service clear as day. Clara's phone buzzed in her pocket, and she ducked into the galley, her face tightening. Another text from her sister, Lena, "Need $500, 0 cents for rent. Please, Clara, I'm desperate." Clara's chest constricted. anger and guilt twisting inside her. She was tired of being the family's ATM, the one who'd made it with her airline job. Her parents' immigrant struggles had taught her resilience, but also left her carrying their burdens. A passenger's recent jab, "Your accent's cute, where's it from?" still burned, fueling her defensiveness. She typed a sharp reply. "I'm tapped out, Lena, figure it out." As she rejoined the cabin, a passenger waved for water, his tone impatient. "Hurry up, will you?" Clara's patience snapped. "It's coming," she shot back, her voice colder than intended. Emily glanced over, concern flickering, but Clara turned away, her stress boiling over. In the cockpit, Liam gripped the controls, the plane shuddering as turbulence hit. The horizon tilted slightly, and his pulse spiked. Sarah's eyes flicked to the instruments, her silence louder than any critique. Liam steadied the yoke, his training kicking in, but doubt whispered, "You're not ready for this." The plane rocked, a tray rattling in the galley. Liam's voice stayed calm over the intercom. "Just a brief patch, folks, we're through it." The shaking eased, and he exhaled, a small victory. Sarah's nod was subtle but affirming, and Liam's resolve hardened. He wasn't just a rookie, he could do this. The plane leveled, but his heart still raced. The weight of Sarah's experience a constant reminder of the standard he had to meet. He adjusted the heading, determined to prove himself, not just to Sarah, but to the voice in his head that doubted him most. Nathan watched Clara return to first class. Her shoulders slumped, dark circles shadowing her eyes. She wasn't just biased, she was exhausted, carrying a weight he couldn't yet name. Her sharp tone with the passenger lingered, a clue to the stress driving her actions. He jotted, "Fatigue affecting service, personal struggles." Sophia, sensing the tension, leaned over. "This flight feels off," she whispered. Nathan chuckled softly. "More than you know." Their shared glance at Clara, now chatting warmly with a Silverhead executive, cemented their bond. Sophia's nerves eased, Nathan's calm presence a quiet anchor. "First time in first class?" he asked. She nodded, shy. "I feel like I don't belong." Nathan's smile was warm. "You belong anywhere you choose to be." The words hit Sophia's heart, a spark of confidence igniting. Emily moved through the cabin, her smile genuine as she checked on passengers. She paused by Sophia, crouching to eye level. "Need anything, hun?" Her kindness felt like a hug, and Sophia relaxed, asking for juice. Emily's warmth extended to Nathan, offering him a fresh towel without judgment. "Thought you might want this," she said softly. Nathan nodded, impressed. Emily, model employee. Clara, meanwhile, lingered near the galley, her eyes darting to Nathan. Why was he so calm, so observant? Was he a mystery shopper sent to catch her slipping? Her suspicion grew, tightening the knot in her chest. Another passenger waved, and she forced a smile, but her mind churned. Family, work, that scruffy first-class guy who didn't add up. The cabin lights dimmed slightly, signaling a shift to cruising altitude. Nathan leaned back, his journal tucked away. Clara's selective service, Emily's kindness, and Liam's steady announcement painted a complex picture. This wasn't just about one flight attendant's bias. It was about a culture that let it fester. Sophia's quiet courage, facing her fears in this unfamiliar world, tugged at his emotions. He'd seen that look before, in employees and passengers alike, all yearning to be seen as more than their surface. Clara's fatigue, though, struck a deeper chord. She wasn't a villain, just a woman stretched thin, her heart hardened by burdens. Nathan's mission felt heavier now, not just to fix a system, but to understand the people within it. The first-class cabin of Horizon Airways Flight 247 dimmed, a soft hum settling over the passengers as the plane cruised at 35,000 feet. Nathan Caldwell, the Undercover CEO, leaned back, his worn jacket blending into the plush seat. His eyes followed Clara Bennett, whose sharp edges seemed to soften under the weight of fatigue. Across the aisle, Sofia Alvarez clutched a novel, her nerves calming after Nathan's earlier kindness. The air felt thick with unspoken stories. Clara's tension, Sofia's hopes, and the distant rumble of a storm Liam Carter was about to face in the cockpit. Nathan sensed this flight was more than a mission. It was a window into hearts stretched thin. Nathan stretched his legs, curiosity pulling him toward the economy section. He slipped past the curtain, where a young mother struggled with a fussy toddler. Her tired eyes met his, and Nathan knelt, offering a small plush toy from his bag, a habit from years of small kindnesses. "This might help," he said softly. The child's cries quieted, and the mother's gratitude spilled over, her voice cracking. "Thank you." Clara appeared, her face a storm. "Sir, first-class passengers stay in their cabin," she snapped. Nathan nodded, unfazed, just helping out. Her glare followed him back, her suspicion now a blazing fire. Back in first class, Clara leaned toward Emily Ward in the galley, her voice a hushed hiss. "That guy's trouble. Roaming around, watching everyone. What's he up to? A reporter, an auditor?" Emily's brow furrowed, her gentle nature clashing with Clara's paranoia. "Maybe he's just curious," she offered, but Clara shook her head, her hands trembling. "He doesn't belong in first class. I can feel it." Nathan, settling into his seat, caught the tail end of their whispers, his journal noting, "Clara suspects I'm a threat. Stress-amplifying bias." Sophia glanced over, sensing the tension. "Everything okay?" she whispered. Nathan's smile was reassuring. "Just an interesting flight." Meal service began, and Emily glided through the cabin, her warmth a beacon. She crouched by Sophia, offering a choice of chicken or pasta with a genuine smile. "First class can be overwhelming, but you're doing great," she said, easing Sophia's nerves. Clara, trailing behind, handed Nathan a tray with a curt nod, her eyes avoiding his. To a suited businessman, she lingered, chatting about wine pairings, her tone almost playful. Nathan's heart sank, not at the slight, but at the pattern. An elderly man in economy signaled for help, his tray table jammed. Clara marched over, yanking it free with a grunt. "There," she said, brushing off his profuse thanks, "it's fine." She turned away, her disdain for economy passengers clear. Nathan watched, his pen scratching. Clara's bias extends to cabin class, systemic issue. Emily, passing by, offered the man a napkin, her kindness a quiet rebuke. In the cockpit, Liam's radio crackled with a weather alert. Storms near Geneva, with gusty winds. His stomach dropped, doubt creeping in. Could he handle this? Sarah's calm voice broke through. "We'll adjust the route, you've got this." Liam nodded, his fingers steadying on the controls. The plane's path shifted slightly, a detour to skirt the worst of the storm. Sarah's eyes flicked to him, her experience a silent test. Liam's mind raced. Every decision felt like a make-or-break moment. He exhaled, focusing on the instruments, his confidence wavering but holding. "We're clear for now," he announced, his voice steadier than he felt. The cabin remained unaware, but Liam's small victory fueled his resolve to prove he belonged in the captain's seat. Clara slipped into the galley, her phone buzzing again, another text from Lena. "I'm getting evicted. You're my only hope." Tears stung Clara's eyes, her chest tightening with guilt and rage. She was drowning. Family demands, passenger jabs about her accent, the endless grind of her job. She wanted to scream, to tell Lena to grow up, but the words caught in her throat. Instead she typed, "I can't. Not this time." Her hands shook as she shoved the phone away, tears spilling over. Emily stepped in, her voice soft. "Clara, you okay?" Clara wiped her face, forcing a nod. "Just tired." Emily's hand rested on her arm, a fleeting comfort, but Clara pulled away, her walls rebuilding. Nathan, catching a glimpse from his seat, felt a pang of empathy. She wasn't just harsh, she was breaking. He considered approaching her, offering a kind word, but held back. His mission demanded patience, not impulse. He noted Clara's stress-driving behavior. Intervention needed? Sophia, emboldened by Nathan's earlier encouragement, set her novel aside. "You travel a lot?" she asked, her voice tentative. Nathan's smile was warm, enough to know every flight's a story. "What's yours?" Sophia hesitated, then opened up. "I'm heading to a job interview in Geneva, graphic design. It's my big shot, but I'm terrified I'll mess it up." Her honesty tugged at Nathan's heart, reminding him of his own early struggles. "You're here, in first class, chasing a dream," he said. "That's courage. You'll do great." Sophia's eyes brightened, a flicker of confidence taking root. Their bond deepened, a quiet refuge amid the cabin's tension. Emily continued her rounds, her smile unwavering, even for passengers Clara ignored. She handed Nathan a fresh juice, her kindness a stark contrast to Clara's curtness. "Thought you might like this," she whispered. Nathan nodded, impressed by her genuine care. Clara, meanwhile, lingered near the galley, her eyes darting to Nathan. His calm demeanor, his notebook, his ease with Sophia, it all screamed trouble. Was he documenting her mistakes? Her heart raced, the pressure of her job and family closing in. A passenger's call button flashed, and she forced herself to move, her smile brittle. Nathan watched, his empathy growing. Clara's paranoia was a symptom of something deeper, a wound he couldn't yet name but felt in his bones. The cabin's fumes softened, passengers settling into meals or naps. Nathan leaned back, his journal tucked away. Clara's bias, Emily's warmth, Liam's quiet battle, and Sophia's courage wove a tapestry of human struggle. This flight was a microcosm of his airline, flawed, complex, but not beyond repair. Sophia's vulnerability, shared in a whisper, lingered in his mind, a reminder of why he'd started Horizon, to make every journey matter, for every passenger. Clara's tears, though hidden, struck a deeper chord. She was more than her mistakes, but could she see it? Nathan's mission felt heavier, a call to mend not just systems, but souls. The cabin of Horizon Airways Flight 247 hummed with a restless edge, the dim lights casting long shadows as storm clouds loomed outside. Nathan Caldwell, the Undercover CEO, sat quietly, his worn jacket a disguise for the weight of his mission. Clara Bennett's paranoia gnawed at the air, her eyes darting to him between tasks. Sophia Alvarez, across the aisle, clutched her novel, her nerves softened by Nathan's earlier words. In the cockpit, Liam Carter braced for the storm's test, while Emily Ward's gentle presence held the cabin together. Every moment felt like a spark, ready to ignite. A sharp gasp broke the calm. An older woman in first class clutched her chest, her face pale. "Help," she whispered, her voice frail. Clara froze, her tray wobbling, panic flashing in her eyes. Emily surged forward, her voice steady. "Ma'am, can you breathe?" "I'm here." She knelt, offering water and checking the woman's pulse, her calm a lifeline. Clara stepped back, her reluctance stark. "Should I call the cockpit?" she stammered. Emily nodded, already soothing the woman, who sipped water and relaxed slightly. Nathan watched, noting, Emily excels under pressure. Clara hesitates. The woman's color returned, but the scare lingered, a reminder of how quickly things could unravel. The plane lurched, turbulence hitting hard as the storm struck. Glasses clinked, and Sophia gripped her armrest, her eyes wide. "Is this normal?" she whispered, panic rising. Nathan leaned over, his voice low. "Just a rough patch. You're safe." His calm anchored her, and she nodded, breathing slower. In the cockpit, Liam's hands tightened on the yoke, the plane shuddering. Sarah's voice was firm. "Hold the heading, Liam." He adjusted, sweat beading on his brow, his doubts screaming, "Don't mess this up." The plane steadied, and Liam's voice crackled over the intercom. "Folks, we're through the worst. Stay seated." Sophia exhaled, and Nathan smiled, his reassurance a quiet gift amid the chaos. Clara, still rattled, spotted Nathan slipping back from another economy visit. Her suspicion boiled over, and she cornered him near the galley. "Sir, I told you, stay in first class." Her voice was sharp, trembling with accusation. "You're disrupting security wandering like that. Who are you really?" Nathan's gaze was steady, disarming. Just a passenger, checking on things. Clara's eyes narrowed, her mind racing. Was he a corporate spy? A journalist? "It's not your job to check anything," she snapped. Nathan nodded, unruffled. "I'll stay put." He returned to his seat, jotting, Clara's paranoia peaking, confrontation inevitable. Sophia overheard, her frown deepening, sensing the unfairness. Clara's outburst echoed, a crack in her armor that Nathan felt in his chest. Sophia set her novel down, her voice soft but bold. "You're good at staying calm," she said to Nathan. "I'm a mess. I got this job interview in Geneva, graphic design. It's my dream, but what if I choke?" Her vulnerability hit Nathan hard, stirring memories of his own early fears. "You're on this flight, chasing that dream," he said, his eyes warm. "That's not choking. That's courage. Picture yourself nailing it." "You've got this." Sophia's smile grew, her confidence blooming like a flower in cracked pavement. "Thanks," she whispered, her heart lighter. Nathan felt a surge of pride, knowing a few words could shift someone's path. Their bond tightened, a quiet haven in the stormy cabin. Clara's phone buzzed again and she slipped into the galley, her face crumpling. Lena's text read, "You're abandoning me. I'll be homeless." Tears spilled, guilt and rage choking her. She was trapped, her family's anchor yet sinking under their weight. A passenger's recent sneer, "Your accent's so ethnic," burned in her memory, fueling her defensiveness. She wanted to lash out, to make someone else feel small. A businessman waved, his tone curt. "Where's my coffee?" Clara's temper flared, her hand tightening on the tray. "It's coming," she nearly spat, but a recent training session flashed in her mind. Breathe. De-escalate. She forced a tight smile, pouring his coffee with trembling hands. "Here you go, sir." He grunted, oblivious to her struggle. Emily nearby caught Clara's eye, offering a nod of encouragement. Clara turned away, her restraint a small victory, but her heart still raced. Nathan, watching, noted, Clara showing restraint? Growth possible? Her effort, though fragile, stirred hope in him. Emily moved through the cabin, her warmth unwavering. She handed Sophia an extra blanket, her smile like a hug. "You're doing great," she said, sensing Sophia's nerves. To Nathan, she offered a fresh water, her kindness effortless. "Thought you might need this," she whispered. Nathan nodded, his respect deepening. Emily, heart of the team. Clara, meanwhile, lingered near the galley, her tears dried but her paranoia alive. Nathan's calm, his ease with Sophia, his notebook, it all screamed danger. Was he building a case against her? Her chest tightened, the weight of her job, her family, her mistakes pressing down. A passenger's call button flashed and she moved, her smile forced, her mind a storm. Liam, in the cockpit, adjusted the route again, the storm's tail still nipping at the plane. Sarah's quiet confidence steadied him, but doubt lingered. "You're enough," he told himself, focusing on the instruments. The plane hummed stable and Liam's heart lifted slightly. He was proving himself, one decision at a time. Back in the cabin, Nathan leaned back, his journal tucked away. Clara's restraint, Emily's grace, Sophia's courage, and Liam's steady hand painted a complex picture. This flight was a crucible, testing everyone's limits. Clara's near snap, her tears, tugged at Nathan's heart. She was human, flawed, but not beyond reach. He decided then he'd reveal his identity after landing, not to punish, but to guide. His mission wasn't just about fixing a system, it was about lifting people up, giving them a chance to grow. The cabin settled, the storm's rumble fading. Sophia's newfound confidence, sparked by Nathan's words, glowed in her eyes, a reminder of why he'd started Horizon. To make every journey matter. Clara's struggle, though, lingered in his mind, a mirror of the airline's flaws. She wasn't the enemy, just a woman carrying too much, her heart hardened by pain. Nathan's resolve hardened too, his empathy and leadership intertwining. This flight was changing him as much as it would change Clara, and the thought both humbled and drove him forward. The cabin of Horizon Airways Flight 247 glowed with the soft light of dawn, the storm's last whispers fading outside. Nathan Caldwell, the Undercover CEO, sat quietly, his worn jacket a silent testament to his mission. Clara Bennett moved through the aisle, her face tired but less sharp, a flicker of change in her eyes. Sofia Alvarez packed her novel, her nerves replaced by a quiet confidence. In the cockpit, Liam Carter prepared for landing, his heart steady. The flight was nearly over, but its lessons were about to land, with a force no one expected. Liam's hands guided the controls, the plane descending smoothly toward Geneva. The wheels kissed the runway, a gentle squeak followed by the roar of reverse thrust. Applause rippled through the cabin, a rare burst of passenger joy. Liam exhaled, his doubt melting into pride. "We did it," he murmured to Sarah, who nodded, her smile genuine. This flawless landing, his first transatlantic triumph, felt like a badge of honor. The cabin buzzed with relief, and Liam's confidence soared, the captain's seat finally feeling like his own. Nathan, hearing the applause, noted, Liam, "Rising star." Clara began breakfast service, her tray steady as she offered coffee and rolls. For the first time, her smile reached everyone: Nathan, Sophia, the suited businessman, even a young woman in a tracksuit. "Cream or sugar?" she asked Nathan, her tone neutral but polite. He nodded, impressed by the shift. "Just black, thanks." She moved on, her courtesy consistent, no longer reserved for the elite. Sophia raised an eyebrow, catching Nathan's eye, as if to say, "She's different." Nathan jotted, Clara showing equality in service. Progress. Emily trailed behind, her warmth amplifying Clara's effort, a quiet teamwork that softened the cabin's edge. Clara's change, though small, stirred hope in Nathan's heart. As the plane taxied, Sophia turned to Nathan, her voice soft but sure. "Thanks for talking to me," she said, her eyes bright. "I was a wreck about this interview, but you made me feel ready." Nathan's smile was warm, her courage tugging at him. "You're going to shine, Sophia. Just be you." She grinned, her confidence a stark contrast to the nervous girl who'd boarded. "Maybe I'll see you around Geneva," she added, grabbing her bag. Nathan nodded. Knock it dead. Their farewell felt like a promise, her growth a small victory in his mission. Sophia waved, stepping into the aisle, her heart full, ready to chase her dream. At the Geneva terminal, Nathan lingered near customs, his carry-on slung over his shoulder. Clara and Emily rushed through the staff line, Clara's phone pressed to her ear. Her voice rose, sharp and raw. "Lena, I can't keep bailing you out. I'm not your bank." Tears glistened in her eyes as she hung up, her hands shaking. Emily's hand rested on her shoulder, her voice gentle. "You don't have to do this alone, Clara." Clara wiped her face, nodding but pulling away, her pride a fragile shield. Nathan watched from a distance, his heart aching. Her pain was raw, a mirror of the burdens he'd seen in countless employees. He stepped forward, his decision made. This was the moment to act. Nathan gestured for Emily to step aside, her eyes curious but trusting. Clara stiffened, bracing for trouble. "You seem upset," Nathan said, his voice gentle. "Can I help?" Clara scoffed, her defenses up. "Unless you can fix my family, no." Her eyes flicked to his worn jacket, still misjudging him. Nathan's gaze softened. "I'm Nathan Caldwell, CEO of Horizon Airways." Clara's jaw dropped, her face paling. "I flew undercover to see how things really work," he continued. "I saw your struggle, Clara, but also your potential." Her voice trembled. "You're the CEO? I'm so sorry. I didn't know." Nathan raised a hand, stopping her. "It's not about apologies. You judged me, others, by how we looked. That's not who we are at Horizon." Tears welled in Clara's eyes, shame mixing with shock. He handed her a business card. "We have programs, counseling, financial planning. You don't have to face this alone. Treat every passenger with respect, Clara. You can set the example." She clutched the card, her hands shaking, a spark of hope breaking through. "Why give me a chance?" she whispered. Nathan's smile was kind, "Because everyone deserves one." He nodded to Emily, adding, "Your kindness didn't go unnoticed." Emily's eyes widened, and Clara mouthed, "CEO," behind Nathan's back, her shock palpable. Nathan turned toward his connecting flight, his mind racing. Clara's tears, her stunned silence lingered in his chest, a reminder of the human cost of his airline's flaws. She wasn't just an employee, she was a person, weighed down by life's blows. His reveal wasn't about power, it was about opening a door to change. Emily's quiet grace, Liam's steady landing, and Sophia's newfound courage wove together proof that small moments could shift. Clara's redemption was beginning, but it was her choice now. Nathan jotted a final note. "Clara, offer support, monitor progress. Systemic changes needed." The terminal buzzed with travelers, but Clara stood frozen, the card in her hand a lifeline. Emily's gentle smile steadied her, a reminder she wasn't alone. Liam, in the cockpit, powered down the plane, his pride a quiet glow. Sophia stepped into Geneva's crisp air, her heart light, ready to face her interview. Nathan boarded his next flight, the weight of his mission lifting slightly. This journey had cracked open truths about bias, struggle, and second chances. Clara's face, raw with realization, stayed with him, a call to lead with empathy, not just authority. The flight was over, but its ripples were just beginning. The Geneva terminal faded behind Nathan Caldwell as he boarded his connecting flight, the weight of his undercover mission settling into quiet resolve. Clara Bennett's tear-streaked face lingered in his mind, a symbol of the human struggles he'd uncovered on Horizon Airways Flight 247. In a Geneva hotel, Clara stared at Nathan's business card, her heart pounding with shame and hope. Sofia Alvarez stepped into the city's crisp air, her confidence soaring, while Liam Carter savored his flawless landing. Emily Ward's gentle smile tied them all together, a thread of kindness weaving through the airline's flaws. This flight had sparked change, and its ripples were spreading. In her hotel room, Clara dialed her sister Lena, her voice firm but calm. "I can't keep paying your way, Lena. You need to stand on your own." Lena's protest crackled through the phone, but Clara held steady, a weight lifting from her chest. "I love you, but I'm done being your ATM," she hung up, tears prickling, but felt freer than she had in years. A card from Nathan, embossed with Horizon's logo, sat on the desk, a lifeline she wasn't ready to grab but couldn't ignore. When Emily knocked, inviting her to dinner with the crew, Clara hesitated, then grabbed her coat, craving connection. Nathan, in a corporate lounge, opened his laptop, drafting reforms for Horizon's training. He typed, "Mandatory empathy workshops, support programs for employee stress." He praised Liam's steady piloting, recommending a commendation, and noted Emily's kindness as a model for all. Clara's name appeared too: monitor progress, offer counseling. His fingers paused, memories of her tears stirring him. This wasn't just about fixing a system. It was about giving people tools to grow. He saved the draft, his vision clear: an airline where every passenger, every employee, felt valued. The lounge's quiet hum echoed his hope for lasting change. Clara returned to duty the next day, her uniform crisp, her heart lighter. At the gate, she greeted passengers with genuine warmth, her smile no longer reserved for suits. A wheelchair-bound traveler, an elderly woman, struggled with her bag. Clara rushed over, kneeling. "Let me help," she said, securing the bag with care. The woman's grateful smile warmed Clara's chest. Emily, nearby, beamed, whispering, "You're different today." Clara nodded, a spark of pride flickering. She scanned the boarding line, half expecting Nathan, but saw only strangers, each with their own stories. Her journal note read, "Treat everyone the same, no more snap judgments." Her transformation, though new, felt like coming home. Sophia, meanwhile, walked into her Geneva interview, her hoodie swapped for a blazer, Nathan's words echoing, "You've got this." She spoke with passion, her designs dazzling the panel. When they offered her the job, her heart soared, tears of joy spilling. Back at her hotel, she posted online, "A stranger on a flight told me to believe in myself. I got my dream job today. Kindness changes everything." Her post spread, inspiring comments about small acts sparking big dreams. Sophia thought of Nathan, the quiet man in the worn jacket, never knowing he was a CEO, but forever grateful for his impact. Her confidence, once fragile, now shone, a testament to a single moment's power. Months later, Nathan boarded another Horizon flight, this time in a sharp suit, his CEO status clear. Clara greeted him at the door, her eyes widening with recognition. "Mr. Caldwell, it's good to see you," she said, her smile warm, genuine. The cabin buzzed with a new energy, passengers welcomed equally, from sweatshirts to suits. Nathan nodded, impressed. "He's still with us, Clara. How's it going?" She lowered her voice, a spark in her eyes. "A lot better, thanks to you." Emily approached, her grin bright. "She's changed everything," she whispered to Nathan. Clara served drinks with care, even upgrading an economy passenger with grace when seats shifted. At a quiet moment, she spoke to Nathan. "I'm volunteering for a mentorship program. I want to help others avoid my mistakes." Nathan's heart swelled, his faith in second chances rewarded. "You'll be great at it," he said, his voice steady. Clara's handshake was firm, her arc complete, from bias to empathy, a living proof of growth. The flight landed smoothly, Liam at the controls, his confidence now unshakable. Horizon's morale had climbed, complaints of rudeness fading. Nathan's reforms, workshops, counseling, manager undercover flights, took root, the airline's culture shifting. Clara, mentoring new hires, shared her story, how stress and prejudice nearly cost her everything, but support turned her around. Emily, her friend and guide, helped plan empathy workshops, their bond a quiet force. Sophia, thriving in Geneva, booked another Horizon flight, hoping to recapture the magic of that first journey. Liam earned a senior pilot role, his doubts silenced by success. Nathan, in his office, read a passenger's email praising Clara's warmth. He forwarded it to HR, noting, "Recognize Clara Thompson, the flight's lessons, empathy, second chances, systemic support," echoed in every step he took. Clara, in her apartment, opened her laptop, signing up for counseling, her pride no longer a barrier. She texted Emily, "Thanks for believing in me." The reply, a string of hearts, warmed her soul. Sophia's social media post, now viral, reminded Nathan why he led Horizon: to make every journey a chance to grow, to connect, to heal. The story closed with a quiet reflection, the plains on Geneva's tarmac gleaming under moonlight. Clara's journey, from snap judgments to mentorship, showed that mistakes could be stepping stones. Nathan's leadership, rooted in empathy, proved systems could change when hearts did. Sophia's courage, Liam's triumph, Emily's kindness, all ripples from one flight, spreading far beyond the cabin. Viewers were urged to embrace kindness, to see beyond appearances, to offer second chances. A single moment, a single choice, could shift a life, a company, a world. Nathan looked skyward, knowing Horizon was soaring toward something better, and so were they all.